Hello, this video is what I think about that doctor dude. I can't remember his name right now. Video request from Krishna's Little Helper. What's up, Krishna's Little Helper? So I watched the 4-part series that you sent me. I listened to it while I was doing other things, so I listened to it in the background. I didn't actually really listen to it, but this dude, he's talking about how the new science czar, the head of the science department that Obama just appointed, is actually a pessimist. He wrote big old memorandum documents that maybe you can find on the internet on his site of his department. I guess the science department or something like that. Did you say it was a newly created organization? I don't know, department, but guy's talking about how, what we should do to lower population. We need to lower population. And that perhaps we should, put in all these, rules, 2-child cap rules and, what else? I'm drawing a blank here. Penalties if you have too many kids and, take your benefits away if you have too many kids and all this kind of stuff. And he did show the document itself, but that's not good enough, man. I like the guy. I like this dude, this doctor dude. I like him. I agree with what he says. I think ideologically I'm more in line with him than with that science dude or with the people in the government right now. But instead of showing the document, like a couple of sentences on the document and a screen capture, what he really should do is attach a link to the video. You can attach links to the video where a little thing up on the corner says click here, or at least put a link down on the bottom. And I don't think he put that. Actually, I don't know for sure, but he probably didn't put that because I know how people think. They don't think that way. A link to the actual document on the government website is going to do 1,000,000 times better job for me and for regular people. It really brings it home when you see it on the actual document. And then you can go, oh wait, this document is on the website and the government website, and here's where he says it. It makes it real. Otherwise, maybe that dude's just full of shit and that's something that he just dug up from somebody else, or he's lying or something, which I don't think he is, but it'll brings a lot more credence if you show the document. For example, in card filled up. That was unnecessary. It's got 8 gigabytes on it. I should take stuff off. For example, he when Bibles, aliens on Bibles, just quoting the Mahabharata and da 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 Gurkha or whatever, or even saying what chapter it's from. It's better to just go click here and you'll see right on the Bible. And that's what I do on my site. You just click here. It takes you to the actual Mahabharata itself in that sentence. And that's what you should do. Just click here and it'll take you, boom, right there. And you can read it. But it doesn't surprise me that he would say that. And that is wrong. And he likes to call the guy a quack. And personally, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't use those words so liberally. He's a quack, charlatan, and just name 3 names. He's a quack, charlatan, and da 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 da. That other guy's a quack, charlatan. That's it's a mature way of speaking, but I think rather it'd be it would be better to just say, see, look, this is what he said here, how we should regulate, take benefits away from anybody who has more than 2 kids, and say that's a crazy thing to say, and it is a crazy thing to say. And it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a crazy thing to say, because, and it is a c people don't need to be regulated. If you look at other countries, whenever like an oligarchy, a small group of people decide what's best for the large group of people and create all these rules, it causes problems. That's all it does, is cause problems. You have to just let the ball roll where the ball rolls and let people do what they do, and it's going to work out in the long run, because people, when you give power to them and responsibility to them, number one, they'll respect having responsibility, and they'll take their own lives more seriously, and so then they're going to make the decisions themselves. If you take the power away from them and tell them what they can and can't do, then they'll just get used to that, and they'll just, they'll rely on that, and then they'll just start breaking the law just because they can, because that's what they get in their head. They don't I guess that's another subject. The psychological consequences of taking people's power away from them and responsibilities. But Romania, when the Ceausescu's did that kind of stuff, they took power away from people. They forced people to have all these kids, and they took the kids away from them. And then eventually they like forced all these people to move into the cities from the countryside and build all these giant buildings, and then the people just rebelled, and now you've got all these irresponsible people in Romania, like the people who grew up in the without any parents in those hospitals, not even walking until they're like 5, not talking until they're like 7, because nobody would talk to them. Half the kids, like 40% or 60% of the kids died because they were just neglected, and so all their friends died, and so now they're just like street bums, like half retarded, and normal people too. It has a negative effect on them. You can't take people's power away from them. And so yeah, brainstorming ideas, and this guy came up with some really good examples about population. They're worried about population control, and in my Alex Jones video, I had the little clip of Ted Turner freaking out on some like talk show. He's like, we got to do something about population, and well, actually we don't. Japan's population is decreasing. Northeast and Western Europe's population is decreasing. Italy, and the only reason the populations keep growing up is because of immigrants who would like to have a bunch of babies. So at the end of the day, it's true. I agree with what this guy says. It's these people who are freaking out about population control. What their real problem is they're just racist. They're freaked out about the demographic of first world countries like Northwestern Europe and America becoming brown, and they think that's a bad thing. I don't give a fuck. I mean, my ex-wife is brown. You look at her and you see an Indian. I don't give a shit. Besides, if you mate a white person with a brown person, their baby's gonna be white, dude. Like my wife, her boyfriend's white, and her daughter is blue-eyed, blonde-haired, pasty white skin, 100% white. You look at her and you see a white person. So it's like, chill out, people. Brown people come and then they'll do the nasty with some white people, and the babies are going to be white, dude. Besides, people are white because they grow up in like Northern Europe and stuff where it's raining all the time and their skin turns white. In a couple hundred years after living in America where it's sunny all the time, we're going to turn dark. So, don't freak out, dude. And, but that's what it is. It's a racist thing, I think. When there comes a population crunch, then people will naturally stop having babies because they'd just rather be happy. They wouldn't want to be working all the time just to feed all these mouths. They'd rather work, live out of their vans, and then freaking do all the cool things that there are to do in the world, like roll around the world, bike tour around America, around the world, check out all the historical sites around the world, archaeological sites, party, These people aren't thinking, dude. It's just this example that I gave is, you know, surfing on a wave. We're moving on something that's moving. You know, you have to take in all the accounts. You have to make all the adjustments, the proper adjustments. You know, like when you put a satellite up in the sky, you don't just put a normal clock up there. You put the clock and then you adjust it for relativity. You know, you make it see how fast it's going, and then you adjust it that way. You know. So what these guys do, that Mr. Science Czar did, and I'm sure that's what he wrote. Unfortunately, this guy doesn't. That doctor dude doesn't know how to put forth his ideas by actually attaching a link to the site, to the page itself. But what these Science Czar dudes, atheists with no faith in humanity, are doing is they're looking at we're on a wave, and you know, and they're looking at the sea and they see the rocks, but they don't realize that the wave is moving as well. And by the time the wave dumps them on the beach, it's going to be way down there. Yeah, dude, we don't need to regulate each other ourselves. And so I agree with what that dude says, that doctor dude. He'd be better off, and he'd be better off as the Science Czar than the Science Czar we have now. Only problem is, I wish he would actually attach links to the actual site. That's what my next project is going to be. Is going to be, you know, I'll use that dude as a reference. Alex Jones and those guys are a reference. Only put forth the material in a lot better way, where you just click and then you can actually see the page. Because I've looked at, and if I have the time, maybe I'll look at the page of the government, the Science Czar government. But what you should do is go to the Science Czar government page, science page or whatever, and then look for that document. And I bet you're not going to be able to find it. You know, for legal reasons, it's probably up there, but it'd probably take you like forever to find it. It'd probably be like, you know, secret way to get there. Like, oh, you got to click that button, and you got to click that button, and that click that button. Probably because they don't want you to see it. You know, that's one possible reason. Another reason is they're just idiots and they don't understand that there are actually people out there who might want to read it. You know, that's a whole nother project. But that's how I have my shit organized. You don't have to do more than 1 or 2 clicks to get anywhere. You just have a grid system. Like when you look at pictures on a page, man, you have like your Flickr account, right? You could have like 100 pictures on there that you can see the pictures just fine, the detail of them. And all the pictures are right there on the page. Or how about if you're looking at like your windows, you could see like 200 pictures, 300 pictures right there on the screen. And you can see the pictures, you know which ones they are. Well, it's the same thing with documents. Set them up on a grid system. And you can see like 300 documents, and you just read it. Oh, there it is. You know, there's the section, click on it, opens up the new grid. Oh, there it is. Instead of having these scrolls that go down, you got to scroll. You can't see it all. You could get to any document within like 3 clicks. Doesn't matter. Exponential. That's how exponentiality works. You click on it, and then it opens up 200. You click on it, opens up 200 more. After 3 clicks, you're dealing with like 1,000, 10,000 freaking documents. You know, you don't have to do 10 fucking clicks and like be like, where, who? I'll just give a quick example. The USDA, I just wanted to know how much we subsidize cows. Yeah, right. That's not written anywhere on the USDA site. How much do we subsidize the military? Yeah, right. Good luck finding that on their website. Yeah, so. But yeah, I think those dudes are atheists. The Science Czar, I think he's an atheist. That's the main problem. They have no faith in humanity, so they're brainstorming. We got to make rules to deregulate. No, population explosion. And I guess this other dude who made population explosion predictions back like in the 70s or something never came true. You know, by the year 2000, we're gonna have 20 billion people. Oh my God. And I don't think we should start worrying about population caps. We should worry about, you know, once you get to a certain population, then we're going to have problems the way that we're living now. But if you factor in all of the changes that we could make as far as free energy and growing food right, not growing so many cows, and, you know, doing aeroponics and, you know, the right way, the good way. We could support a whole bunch of people. We could support like 20 billion people in the state of Texas. Make big old buildings out of plastic that could be like 100 stories high. Free energy, get the elevators really fast. You could pack people in like sardines, and they could be comfortable. Put car parking lots underground. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. Floating cities, anti-gravity. Then you could have the whole country, the whole planet is a big old like naturalism, jungle, and totally natural, and all the cities are just floating up there. I mean, there really is no cap to how many people you can have. It all depends on, and I think that's the problem with these people. They're in the mindset of we're gonna have to use gas for the rest of the time and all this time. So due to that, we will have a cap, and so then they're thinking about regulations and all this stuff. So they got to get out of the mindset of using gas. Hopefully not anytime soon, though. I want us to keep using gas because I rely on it myself. Hee 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 hee. Okay, we're out of time.